Record.
Oh, here we go.
Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to our New York webinar. Sorry. I'm glad to see so many of you here. Let's start. Right. Today, I want to spend more time looking actually at the yen pairs. As you can see, most of the yen pairs are actually actively moving up. So we're going to check them to see whether this is the start of some uptrend, or is it just a bigger correction for more downside, right? But before we start, you're introduced to our panel. Mark, Victor, Benny, Sherry is missing. These are some of our senior traders who are involved in the training sessions in our room, right? There are many, many more senior guys in here who are also involved in opening the trading room for us, which works 24/5, sometimes 24/7. Because I would see people there in Saturdays and Sundays trading, not trading, but training. We have practice sessions in those times. So you're getting a closer understanding of what we do, and you're getting introduction to some of the people. It's a pity I don't have a camera on this computer I'm using. We weren't prepared so much for this. So very soon you will see me because I'll be putting a camera on, right? I'm using one of these monster computer, I call it, because it's very, very powerful in terms of the speed. Because the amount of things that I have here running right now, you'd be surprised. And we're changing to this webinar platform. We're testing it today because we want to see how it's working. And it's more lively. It seems to be very friendly to me. And as you can see, you all get to see the questions, and you get to see the chat. So it makes it much more easy for me. I don't have to read all the chat.
There are already some questions, Anil. Do you want to keep them for the end, or?
Yeah, let's leave all the questions for the end at the end of the webinar. If you can do that, that'd be great. I'll answer all your questions. Right? We'll leave time for that. It's Friday afternoon. No need to rush. Right? So I think it's more friendly for you too, because you can see what people are writing in the chat. So please be courteous, be respectful, and don't troll in this chat because you will be removed. Right? Just to inform you. I hope the webinar the link has reached a lot of people, but in future I'll ask you guys, if you see it, please share it, because a lot of people don't see it, right? I sometimes post it a little too late, or we are not allowed to post it a lot of places in TradingView now. So that means a lot of people may not see it. You have to always check on my profile. That is where I'll be posting informations of webinar in the future, right? So if you see an update from my profile, please check it. Let's go. Let's start. Dollar index. If you look at the dollar index, I'll be doing a lot of outlook from the daily chart, because we'll be looking for trades that are coming next week, which means the direction of the market next week. And if you look at the dollar index, we have been doing this pretty good. All of you were with me for 2 weeks, so you see how we look at the whole market. And we are right now in a consolidation here. So it looks like an ABC consolidation, which is a three-wave pattern. One down, one up, one down after an impulse. You would see me do this very often. An impulse, a consolidation, and another impulse. So that means we are looking for another impulse up here. Don't miss this. That means we will see more downside in the euro. We will see more downside in the pound. We will see more downside on the Aussie. We will see more downside on the New Zealand. And if you were following me from last week, you would know that I said the New Zealand would likely be leading the downside on all the current pairs, right? If you take a look at what the charts are doing, the New Zealand is leading on the downside. So let's go look at them. Euro, you can see that I posed this update that is likely going to go up. I took about 40 pips from it, and then I closed it, and then it spiked up. I was in for like a day and a half, and I just got tired, closed the trade, and immediately it spiked up, like about an hour or so after. Well, that happens. That spike didn't last for a long time, and we are still expecting some more spike up to retest the top of this A wave. After which, don't miss this trade. That is a trade for next week. Very likely next week this is going to happen. I will be following up with updates, but very likely we'll see that next week, which means one more down in the euro, up on the dollar index. Right? You can clearly see that. So I'll put this line here for the dollar index, break of this stop, but that's an expanding or a running flat in the making. So you will see a spike a little above the top there. Take that off. And let's go back now. Euro. 4 hour. We're making a 1, 2, 3-wave pattern. This you may get some more downside here, I think possible, and one more up, but watch them when they break this top, watch for the downside. A break of this trend line is what we'll be looking at. A break and a consolidation under here will be the next impulse, maybe even bigger than this. Not as fast as this, but bigger than that. Now, if there's a news event coming up, you will want to be very careful because that is the time when they'll probably want to drop it, using a news event to drop it, right? Pang, it's going up, but there is more downside in this. And right now, I think temporarily in the 4-hour, you can see that there's probably one more upside here. Let me go into 1 hour so you can see that, right? In the 1 hour, we're looking this morning for some more downside here, and it's actually happening right now, but it's coming down correctively. I thought it would go down more like that, but it's coming like this. So there's a chance they will retest this top, and then the big correction comes. Now, the downside and the pang will not be so impulsive. It is going to be more or less corrective. It's not going to go as fast as the other pairs. So I'm not expecting pang to go down much more. I'm expecting it to go, but I think the pang will be doing more like this. And we will see more upside. So for next week, it will probably spend the whole of next week going down, but after that, we're going to see the upside again of the pang. So we'll be looking at the pang crosses in relationship to everything else. Because if pang goes down and, you know, then start to go up, but Aussie and New Zealand continues to go down, we'll be looking at the pang pairs going up very, very strong, right? So let's go look at the Aussie. Aussie just kept pushing up. You remember we were trying to trade this. We thought it's going to break out, right? We trade this one. We trade this one. I think I traded a part of this. It didn't go well. Well, the upside, we did take one trade in the upside only that I identify. And now I'm not identifying any up trade here. It may push up some more, but this structure, I've seen structures like these, and they very often break to the downside. And it could be a violent breakthrough when it goes, which means it could go very, very fast. So you got to be careful. The upside is limited. It's still a corrective structure. Here's the daily chart. As long as we are under this top, it is still a daily corrective structure. I don't see them breaking that up. It is possible they can spike it to break the top and then come down. Well, if they break that up and they break the trend, that changes the entire structure. We will relook at the entire structure, and the trade would be a different trade. But as it is right now, I'm looking at this 4-hour here, and I can see that this trade is very possible. They're pushing up, pushing up, pushing up, but eventually this pattern will break to the downside here. This is the first trade you will try to get. We'll try to get that entry. Move that into positive and see whether they break here. But if they're going to bounce like they did here, you're going to move, take some profit, and try to see if you get one more up, which is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure. This structure could end here, and that could be the big fall. We'll see. We'll be tracking it as it goes, right? So it doesn't matter that it's pushing up, pushing up. You don't need to be worried about that. As soon as it breaks here, we'll look for our setup, and that will be based on how you trade breakout structures, right? Every breakout structure we trade differently. It depends on what type of structure we're looking at. So we really don't discuss the strategy we use to trade, but I give you a sense of direction. So if you have a strategy, please use it. And if you don't have a strategy, don't ask me for entry. That means you're not ready to trade, right? You really are not ready to trade if you don't have a strategy. So you will have to likely wait for that opportunity until you can learn to trade, and then you should put your money at risk. So there is a chance. Actually, this one, to be honest, I took some pips out of it, but that's, as one of the guys was saying, that's called illegal trade in our room. That is trades for experience, selling the top here, and I closed it somewhere when it started to go back up, right? But that's something experienced traders do. It's not part of the strategy we teach, right? That's more with experience. I sold it not because of that. I thought it was going to break. It didn't break, so I said, okay, I'll take it off and wait for the break now. New Zealand, let's go with this one. New Zealand, I'm in the sell in the New Zealand. I'm in the sell from still since way up in here. I think somewhere around here I'm in the sell, and it's a break even, so I will not be interfering with that trade. And let's see how it goes. Right, I'm in the sell on this breakout. Let me show you what was the trade. The trade was based on this breakout. I don't know if I posted this. I think, or this breakout, sorry, my fault. This breakout here. So but not on this piece. I got in somewhere here after this happened, right? So I just move it to break even and keep it. I think we're in consolidation here right now. You can see this. So you guys may get a chance to get in if it consolidates here some more. Look for this breakout. And that's a good, this is a really good trade because we broke the daily trend, right? We broke this daily uptrend. So this trade becomes a very nice trade. Let me take off this. Take off some of these lines so you guys could see it clearly. We are breaking that structure that is coming, that was going up. So now we're looking for a downside, which means next week would be a good time. Let them consolidate here today on a 4-hour, and then next week you can get this trade going down, right? When it comes here, this is the trade you're looking for. When it comes here, if it comes like this, we look for one more up. If they break through, and I'll be updating it so you will know whether I think it's breaking through or there's one more up. We're looking at this structure. It's a wave up, a wave down, a wave up, a wave down, probably one more wave up. That's the final wave before this happened, right? Either it's going to happen now or it's going to go back there. There's a 90% chance it's going to go back one more up to complete the 5-wave structure and then fall. So we will see. I can't say, but there is a nice wave, nice trade to the downside. You have about a good 300 pips there, 280 pips. You can get 240 out of that if if you get a timing entry on the 4-hour or on the 1-hour, right? So with something like about a 40 pip risk, that would be something like this. If this is the top of the consolidation, depends on what pattern we make in there. You can get an entry in the breakout with a stop somewhere here and go for that 200 and something pips, or 280 pips, I think, right? Something like that. So it's going to be a good risk to reward trade because this, even if you put your stop here, this would be your risk and this is going to be your reward. Depends how it goes. It may go fast, it may go very slow. And if it goes slow, you get to add more trades to it if you understand how to trade, if you understand structure and you know what you're doing. You may get more pips than, much more. If it goes fast, you get one very good trade. That is also okay, right? Swiss is in a big sideways move. If you were in my room, most of the time we were ignoring it, and I think we did right because you were in my room during this period of time and it did nothing, right? So we knew it was going up. There was this one trade up. There was a small trade up here. We didn't really much trade, and we're still expecting them to come to this top on the daily. So on the daily, it's in this structure. You can see that we are looking for a trade down, up, down, up. I think this one still has one more up here before it comes down back here, or they break out. Now, either could happen because this structure allows for that. Either of those could happen. So what we'll be doing is we'll be tracking this one here. I don't think this breakout is the downside as yet. What we want to see here is if they make a flag, if they consolidate here. If they consolidate here, I'll pose this sell. But if they keep going up, once they get here, we will look for this trade to break. This is going to be one hell of a trade because it is going to give you a very, very nice risk to reward trade. CAD. Same here, going sideways, but I think now we finally figure out close to what it's doing. This is your impulse going down, so we are looking for this to come here, go back up there, and then go down, right? This is what we think the structure will do. So there's a small trade here, but we'd rather wait for this trade, and then this trade to continue to the downside. So let me put it in a 4-hour. There is a small trade to this level. Retest this low here. Retest this low, so you can probably get a trade that will do this next week. Monday, Tuesday, maybe even today they could finish this. So you probably look for a trader. Let me see if we have a trade set up on a 1-hour. Not quite. It's probably gonna go. It's slow. You have a trade set up here. Actually, you have a breakout, a small breakout in the 1-hour. You can see that with a stop here, and it's probably gonna go slow. And it doesn't look like it's gonna end today. And you have to be careful. It's Friday. Likelihood they're gonna spike it back up and then take it down next week to finish the move. So I would not go for this trade right now on a Friday afternoon. It's not the big trade you're looking for. Yen, this is the surprising one. Well, not surprised to us because we've been talking about this for a while. And if you were in my room, I remember I said 2 options when we were looking at the yen last week. that they will make, this is your first impulse up, they will make a 1, 2, 3 and go up, right? Or this was your A, B, C, and they will come down. Well, once they break this, once they broke that, they told us they're going up, and that is the trade, right? So you could have taken the trade from here, you could have taken the trade from this breakout. Right now, you want to be out of the trade, or you want to move your stop very tight, because it's showing us now that they're fading. They're coming to the trend line and they're ending whatever is going on there. So we can relook at this whole structure from a daily point of view like this. Come on. We can relook at the structure like this. That's your daily trend down. You've got a move down, you've got a correction, you've got a move down. This could be a correction, and we could get another move down here. So what they need to tell us now, if they're going to break out for the big move up, or if they're going to give us one more here before they go up. This structure will go up. It's not a question of if it will go up. It's a question of when it is going to go up, right? And I think in this structure here, we have maximum we have now going down should be the last impulse down, and this is going to be up move. So if this is the start of the up move, we want them to break out of this structure, consolidate above it, and then we're going to be trading the weekly chart, which means we will start a weekly trend to the upside. This is what you're going to be looking for. You're going to be looking for a move like this, starting from here going up, right? Very likely. If they decide to do a bigger consolidation, you're going to get a move up like this, one more down like that, and then upside. This is your first impulse. So you're either going to get a bigger consolidation, or this is all the consolidation and we go, right? Well, you don't have to worry much about it if you don't understand how structures move and, you know, what are wave patterns and all of that. Just follow me and I'll post the updates as we go. So watch this here now. Let me take out all these fibs and let's keep an eye on it to see what it's doing. It looks to me like they may break here, and if they break, we'll be looking for sells. If they start a break here, we'll be looking for sell set up for downside. So this is the first yen pair. What I'll do at the end of the webinar is I'm going to come back to all the yen pairs. Let me just run through some of the big movements I think coming up as well. Selective choosing some of the charts and not everything, so that we don't waste a lot of time just looking at everything, which, you know, will not be moving. Some of them that I think will be moving pretty fast. Euro New Zealand. Remember, the New Zealand may be the one that will be leading to the downside. Finally, this broke out. I posted this chart, and as you guys may have known, by the way, you may see that I no longer answer anybody in the chat, and I wouldn't be answering to anybody, whether you ask a good question, a bad question, and I wouldn't be, I know I am very thankful to all of you for the likes and the comments and everything, but just to avoid trouble, I wouldn't be making any comments or likes. Very rarely, if there's something that really needs to be answered and I think it's worth it, I'll answer. But I'll try to avoid being in the chat totally. But you still need to support me in the chat, because for somehow they grade the TradingView system, grade the chat as important. I think it's unimportant, because if you look at the charts, that most of the chat is a bunch of nonsense. People quarreling or arguing, or they're giving you make a comment if you want a cookie or something like that. So it's not effective. We're breaking, which means we're looking for this trade, and then we're looking for that trade to go up, right? And we posted this. They're going to come to the 7. They're not coming to the 786. They did make a move down, not to the 786. They're breaking out. What we want for confirmation that this is going to go up is some kind of a consolidation in the 4-hour, and we may be getting it right now. We may be getting a 4-hour consolidation here right now. So a break of this means you want to be in this trade. You don't want to miss this trade, because even if you have to put an entry order in, you don't want to miss this trade. If you miss this, it's going to be gone for good. You may not get in. It's going to move pretty fast, right? If it's not ready to go and it's consolidating some more, let them do that. I would appreciate a bigger consolidation like this, because that will add confidence to the trade to the upside. But if it is going to make a small one, you can put an entry order there and let it go. Right? Because if this starts to go, it is going to go very, very fast. If you guys keep all your questions to the end, I will answer. Yes, it's going to be on YouTube. I'll put it on YouTube for you guys. So you can see we broke out of this. The other one I want to show you that has a New Zealand inside is the Aussie New Zealand, and we've been tracking this one for a while too. And you guys know my view on this for like a year now, right? We traded it up. We waited, we traded some parts of the consolidation, and we were waiting for that consolidation for a very, very long time. Finally, it's breaking out. So you're getting your 4 hour. This is the daily chart. Don't rush, don't chase that. If you're in, like one of our trader took it from the 786, Nora in the room, by the way, right? So she took that 786 buy and she's doing well, right? Yep, she's in the room. So she's one lucky person. She's not coming out of that trade. You can be sure about that, right? She's got enough reasons to stay in all the way. So you can tell how much pips she got already in that trade. This is going to be a record. Yep, Nora is just about all that pips up, right? And she's going to add a lot more to it. So what we want to see here now is a 4 hour consolidation, right? We want to see a 4 hour consolidation. Let's go to the 4. We're in the 4 hour. We want to see this make some more consolidation here. I think it will, and then we would take this trade up. So you don't want to miss this trade too. This, anything with a New Zealand in it, that is the Euro New Zealand, the Aussie New Zealand, they're all showing you. This is showing you New Zealand weakness in relationship to Aussie. This is showing you your New Zealand weakness in relationship to Euro. So you want to trade the New Zealand to the downside as well. That's New Zealand down, Aussie New Zealand up, Euro New Zealand up, and the pound New Zealand. Now, it might not be as weak in relationship to the pound because we know what happened to the pound, right? So New Zealand, as you can see, is in this one, it's still in the downtrend. And that is because the pound is the weakest of them all, right? So what we're going to look at here now is short-term trades within. And as you can see, while those are going up, this one went up some, but it's actually coming down here. There may be one more up here. But I'm not expecting this to go up. I'm actually expecting this to go back one more and retest this low. So we're going to see pound weakness. Pound will be the weakest of them all. So keep an eye on this. Let's see which one that has a bigger trade also. On the pound, we have a couple. Since pound is the weakest, as you can see, New Zealand pound will not be big trade. But you can look at, let's say, Swiss pound. This should give us a very big trade. Because if you look at this chart, I posted this chart a while back, and I can't click anymore here to put it out. I was going to click on the chart and show you those charts. You know, you used to have those arrows here. I could click and show you the charts that I post. Well, for some reason, that is being removed from the chart. I have no idea why. Right? So what you're seeing here is a correction, and I think we may see some more consolidation here. But look for this trade to go down. This will be a very, very big trade to the downside. Right? Because we've broken this structure, and this is a weekly, monthly structure. Let me put it in the monthly so you can see, right? This is the monthly structure that I posted. We broke this one. That's a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're breaking this now. So we're making a consolidation here. It's a little small. Wait for a little more consolidation. You can trade that consolidation while it's happening, and you look for this trade here. Don't miss it. It's going to happen. Right? It may just retest this low, but they're likely going to retest that low. So go back to the daily, and you can see we're consolidating. Go back to the 4 hour. Take this breakout. I don't think this is the one that will go right now. This one may bring you back something like this. Go back up. If we see this, we trade it up, and then we take the next break one. If this doesn't go, it comes back like this. Go again. We take the next one. Every time it comes back to this level, as a corrective structure, we will take the sell because that is the one that is really going to be going, right? Let's go. The yen pairs. So I'll move right now to all the yen pairs. Let's go. We did the dollar yen. Let's look at the euro yen. I posted this. You know, they even removed this chart because they thought I was kidding. I'm not. This trade is likely going to happen. There's a big trade coming to the upside here. You can see that. We've been looking at it for a while. Now, the question is whether this is the one going up, right? Let's bring this structure up so you can see what we're looking at. We have a 1, 2, 3, right? And it looks to me like this is going to be the one going up. We don't know that for sure. Let me take off this. What we want in here is to look whether we're getting some structure. They have the breakout of the trend to confirm that. But you can see now that this is squeezing at the top there, which means we're anticipating a deeper corrective structure here. And if we get that, we will take this trade. If they reverse, it's one more test of the low, and that may be the final move down before they go up. And the big move to the upside will start. So whether it started already or it's going to start, you don't want to miss these trades because there may be just one more big impulse to the downside. We can trade it, that will last about a month or two, and then we will see this the yen starting to trend to the upside. This is going to be yen's weakness. So all the yen pairs would likely follow. One more down, and they may all start following to the upside. Pang yen, let's see what Pang yen is doing. Pang yen monthly, similar structure, right? See this? We came here. Let's take this off. Take this off so you guys don't get confused. We're down very much in this. So at some point, this will have to go back up, either to retest this level, right? Or to make a deeper corrective structure for more downside if they want to. I think we're looking at more upside rather than the downside. So let's put it in a daily. This daily structure telling us that there's a chance, there's a very strong chance that when this comes here, we get one more down, right? And that is the one that will start the upside. That will complete this structure, and then we're gonna go up. So 4 hour, let's see what happens here. Watch this 4 hour here very closely. It looks more upside to me. This one looks more upside. They're consolidating here. We can get a small trade, go up, they pull back, consolidate, take a trade to the upside. Every time they do that, you buy. Some of our traders are in this already. I took a piece of this and I closed the trade. It is because it started to get divergence here. You can see that. So I'm anticipating a deeper pullback. And that is why I'm out of this. Not a very big trade actually, but I'm anticipating more downside. So maybe one more up here. And then they'll make the down. If they make the down, we'll take that trade. It may go slow sideways or it may go very fast. Either way, we will take the trade. And then we will make a decision whether we're going to stay in for a longer move or we're going to get out of it, right? Let's go. Aussie yen. We've been talking about it. This one is just amazing. And we have a couple traders who are really trading this yen, this Aussie yen, and they're really making money out of it because, you know, they've been following it closely as we do. And you see this pattern here, we've been following that pattern in all time frame. And I've posted this chart, I don't know, like from here, we've been tracking this chart, every single move down. Closely. It's a pity I can't go back to all those charts and show you them, right? Some reason they're gone. We labeled this pattern and we said after that, look for the upside. And I think the upside is about to come. You can see the speed at which it's going. 4 hour, we had a consolidation. They're going. This one is going. There's no divergence in this chart here. Put it in a 1 hour. We may be getting internal divergence, some smaller divergence here. And that means that we're getting some small divergence here. This could start to make a deeper correction to go up. So you guys watch it. We may get some correction here now, and then we may go up. If we get a nice 4 hour correction like this, this would be an amazing buy. Right? This would be one amazing buy because we're going to break out of this trend line. And that means it's going to go very much to the upside. If you want, you can pull this when it breaks. It's not, you could take the sell, but the sell was not going to be very aggressive. I don't think the sell is going to be very aggressive. Right? New Zealand, finally, we are getting some structure here. Right? We actually missed most of this because we willfully stayed out of this. We rather trade we rather traded the Aussie because it is more structured. This one you can see, not so structured for trading. And that is why we stayed out of it. And instead of trading this, we trade the Aussie, right? Now I'm seeing some good structures in it. Finally, it's giving us some nice move, correction. And you can see there's a correction here. See this? It may come down like this, but then this will be a wonderful trade if they do that. This here may be a trade that will be breaking the downtrend line to the upside. See that? If that goes, if this break, we're looking for another move to the upside like this. If they break this structure. If they go to the downside, we may likely stay out of it and trade the Aussie. Or trade another yen pair, right? The Pang yen to the downside of it. So I don't think this is looking downside. This is looking aggressively to the upside right now. Let's see if they break out of this. Swiss yen, we spoke about it. You guys know, some of you should have been in this trade, because if you're in my room for 2 weeks, I've been talking about this going up, and they're at the top here now. Now they have to talk to us. It's very similar structure. And they move to the upside. They're very, very, very aggressive. You can see the speed at which they're going up compared to the speed at which they even go down. Look at these moves going down. And look at this going up. Pretty sharp. If they come out of here and they consolidate, this is your trade, and then that is your trade going up there. There's a big trade to the upside. So keep your focus on this one. When it starts to move, it really moves fast. Right? Sometimes it's slow, but when it starts to move, it really moves fast. So you can watch this to go up some more. And remember, I said pound Swiss has a move to the downside. That's the strength of the Swiss and the weakness of the pound. This is the strength of the Swiss and the weakness of the yen. Remember what we think dollar yen is going to do? Go up. That is yen's weakness. Pound Swiss going down. That is Swiss strength. Swiss yen, look for that trade. It could be an amazing trade to the upside. And CAD yen. I think CAD yen is the only yen pair that is not giving us a lot of nice structure that is likely going to go, because they're breaking out of this big structure to the downside. See that? They're trying to break it. But if they do break to the upside, pull back, they will pull back for a while, and then this trade is going to be very possible. See the pullback they made there before they go, right? So you can watch your pullback here and then take that trade to the top. Now, it doesn't go as smooth, right? It looks very smooth in this time frame, but you can imagine there's a lot of pullbacks, smaller pullbacks in there that will go. So that means if you're trading in a 16-240, you need to understand structure, or you can follow the charts that I'll be posting, which means I will be posting heads up on, you know, what I see, and when I do have the chance to post them. So we have looked at all the yen pairs for you guys. We have looked at the majors. We have looked at some very big trade coming up. So very soon, some of those are already triggered. They're already there. You just need to find a way to get in, right? Look at one of those setups that I showed you to get in on. And once you get in those, you're in the right way to go. So let me see what else we probably showed. Nothing much here. The rest of them is just sideways kind of movement. So somebody want to see S&P 500? Let me just show that very fast. But we're not going to do these special requests. Otherwise, the webinar will go on forever. By the way, those of you who are in my web, this one is amazing, right? Remember what I showed you, the chart that I posted? I should go and show you these charts, because there was one guy posting in these charts. If I do that, I'll lose this chart here if I try to go and find those to show you. But you can go, click on my profile, click on S&P 500. All the S&P 500 charts will come up, and you will see how amazing we follow this structure. And I actually start following it from here by request. Somebody requested that I actually, you know, just go and show them what I think about it. And everybody was going crazy. Oh, this is going to fall. There's a next recession. I was like, okay, just be quiet. It's going to just consolidate and go up. When I post the upside here, I see some people posting, no, this thing is going down. They go to a 15-minute chart and, oh, this is the fall of the century. Well, I don't know where they see the fall of the century, because it's actually going up. And that's exactly what we are saying all the time. It will go up because it has to make one more leg to the upside, right? We knew that that thing is going to happen. They have to make one more leg to the upside. They have to make one. Sorry, where's my cursor? Let me get it. They have to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where the fall of the century is going to come from. Somewhere along here, you're going to see the fall of the century come. That is when you're going to be referred. We will see it. We'll look at the structure and we'll tell you when that is coming. That is when the big fall is going to come. And the big fall may be something like this, right? The big fall may be something like this. Because you can see a very clear three-wave structure. This thing is so simple, right? It's not complex. Remember, I always show you pattern. It's not complex. Find an impulse. Find your correction, find the next impulse, find your correction, and then find the next impulse. We're going to have a deep correction here too. Long, drawn-out sideways correction, and that everybody will be shouting about the fall of the century, because it's probably going to do something like this first, and then it's going to start to do this, then it's going to do something like this and do something like that, go here, and then they're going to go back one more up before you get a deep downside starting. This is a couple of years to come. Right? Not like today, tomorrow. But I post one yearly chart and everybody went crazy, right? Actually, it was because of that chart they decided to put the ban, not because of the chart, but because of what was going on in the chat in that chart. So just don't listen to most of those gurus. Watch the chart; it will tell you what is going on. You just need to look at the chart, guys. If you look at the chart, it's going to tell you what it's doing. Learn to read the charts. Forget about a news event. Forget about all those gurus who think they know what they're saying, right? They have no idea what they're saying. You go and check when this move happened. I want you to go back on all the charts, all the big guys in TradingView, when this first move happened, and check all their charts, what they were saying. Oh, they were showing this thing is going down crazily. Yep, every single one of them. I'm not kidding you. Every single one of them said, well, that's it. This is the fall of the century coming. You know what the chart I post? I post a simple chart and said, this thing will consolidate for 6 to 10 months and then it's going to go up. You want to count how much month it consolidate for? Just go count it. It's easy. You know, you can. These are things that are recorded. You can go and check them, right? You can actually check them. You don't need me to say, hey, he's just saying it. You can go and check them. Just like I was showing one of my traders was Benny, you're on by one of my traders who like fundamental was saying, you know, this fundamental makes the market move. I was like, no, you can know where the market is going to go even if you don't know what fundamental will drive it there. And the Pong was a very good example because we had that Pong chart that says it's going to go down. I think all of you here saw it. If you didn't see it, just go to Pro Wave. Go to Pro Wave Trader. Click on photos. These are old charts. These are charts before I was in TradingView. Click on this, click on albums, see all the albums, and then go find the one that says big moves in the Pong to come. Huge moves coming in the Pong. And what you do is you click on this chart and you said, well, what is this huge moves this guy is talking about? He's probably crazy. And then you look at this chart and you say, wow, you see this level here? I said it's going to come and retest this low. That was before anybody ever even dreamed of talking about Brexit. That never existed. Nobody cares about it. Nobody knew Brexit will ever come. Nobody knew anything like that will happen. But the chart told us that it is going to go down. It's that simple. You look at the chart and it says, oh, this move is going down. And I have a chart to prove it. Right? It's not like you don't have it. This was there. It's posted since when? 14th of March, 2015. That's a whole year and a half ago, right? It's posted there. It's there. That's proof, right? And this is what we see. And this was the structure that I posted out. So if this happened, here's what you have to ask yourself. If this happened, what are the chances this one will happen? Just ask yourself a simple question. If I look at the chart and I'm telling you, based on structure that I know and I have studied and I understand, and I do understand structure, I know a thing or two about structure, and I'm telling you that move was going to happen and it happened. And I'm telling you now, do you see that big green move to the upside? It is going to happen. If not the end of this year, starting next year, somewhere around there, that big move is going to happen. I think most of you are saying, well, he's probably crazy. That's exactly what people were saying when I said, you see that B wave is going to come down for a C wave? That the Pong is going to fall like crazy? Well, a lot of people thought that was crazy. That's it. They probably thought that, oh, this guy got to be crazy talking nonsense. Where would the Pong? The Pong was going up. The Pong at that time was going up very, very, very strong. At that time, if you remember, Eurozone was in a mess. Right? Eurozone was totally in a mess. The United States was coming out of a recession. They didn't even know if they were going to get out of the recession. The only strong economy at that time, that was pretty strong at that time, was the British economy. And everybody saying, oh, this guy is saying that the British pound will fall to that low level. Never going to happen. It's not going to happen because every fundamental news in the world was showing that the pound is the strongest thing and it is getting stronger. Why everything is going to go down? Now when it's at the bottom, everybody's saying, hey, no way this thing is going to go up. This thing is going to go to the dogs. The Pong is going to be like the, I don't know, the Zimbabwe currency very soon, people are saying, because they're crazy. They think that if it's going down, it will keep going down forever. And that's crazy stuff, because you listen to the news, and the news feeds you nonsense. The news is feeding you nonsense, and you listen to that nonsense, and you believe that, oh yeah, no, it is going to get stronger, and it's going to be stronger than the euro and stronger than the dollar, and it's going to get extremely strong. Ask me why? I don't know. I have no clue. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you why it's going to happen, but I'm telling you it is going to happen, because the structure is saying that is what happens. There will be enough reasons when it starts to happen for all the gurus to come out and say, oh, well, this move happened because of this, and this one happened because of that, and this one happened. They will all come after the fact and tell you, oh, this is why it happened. Well, I always said, you know, there are types of doctors that work when the patient is dead, and there are those who try to save the patient. I'm the one who is saying, I want to diagnose that thing before it happened and save the patient. I don't want to come and tell you post-mortem, oh, I know why he died, right? I want to be ahead of the game, not after the fact. Yep. Those are very small trades. Those are like small corrective trades we were looking at. And, you know, we trade daily. So we look at 15 minutes charts. We look at 1 hour charts. We look at like the British pound Aussie I posted today. Somebody was saying about that. The one I posted today, the British pound Aussie. It's a small trade. I actually took about 100 and something pips already out of that trade. And it's still going. There's still more chances it's going to go down. Let me just find it. These are little trades. You can get this day in, day out if you learn to trade structure. Look at that little thing in there. That's the trade. Let's go to the 15 minutes. This is this little trade here. It's going down, and then there's a big one coming up, right? I actually took this one. Close the trade at the bottom there because I thought it was going to go up more, and I'm going to be in the webinar, so I may as well get out. That's 100 and something pips, right? And I'm looking for this. If it may go up back, and then we'll look at sell. But if it comes here, don't worry, I'm looking for that upside. It's very likely we'll get that upside, right? So let's go to the questions now. Let me see where are the questions. Let me start with, is there already audio? Those are, can you go over the pound buy setup, please? No, we're not looking for a buy setup. What about US data today? Nothing about the US data. I don't even know what US data you're talking about. I don't look at those things. It's a waste of time. We only, at the time of the webinar, at the time of the news event, we're sometimes trading, but we're trading the technical trade. And we're hoping that they will use the news event to move the market fast. It's actually using the event to move the market. The market will move in that direction either way, whether there was a news event or not. But if there's a news event, that's a very good opportunity to move the market and don't have a lot of people moving with you. Pound Swiss looks very different than the weekly with IDC data as the low is a lot lower. I don't think the datas are so different from each other. The IDC chart, I use it because it just has a lot of chart inside, right? And if you ask me, I'll use IDC over FXCM any day. FXCM has a lot of spikes that never exist. I hope you review precious metal like X, silver, and gold. We'll probably look at that. Let's see if we have time. US reports come in. Do you recommend trading them? We don't really trade the news events so much. What time is the news event coming out? I think that's an old one. The news event is probably already out. That is at 3:30 p.m. Yeah, that's already out. Anything happened in the world? I don't think the world collapsed, except that my New Zealand trade gave me some extra pips, right? The pound is coming down. If you're in the pound trade, that was a sell we called. This is going down. See, why worry with the news event? Though you guys, you're focusing on the wrong thing. You're not going to be successful if you focus on the wrong thing over and over. Focus on the right thing. Watch the charts. Can you go over pound USD? Please, I'll probably take a look at it for you. And what are your thoughts on the use of support and resistance? It's useless. There is nothing like support and resistance in the chart. You know why they feed you that? The brokers love that. Because the brokers and the banks that are trading in Forex love support and resistance. You know why? That's where they get you. That is where you use your stop. When you're selling, you're using that resistance to put your stop above it. They'll take you out and go very nice. Not only for small traders, brokers especially, small traders. You use support and resistance, they will whack you every time. They love that. They love to feed you that nonsense. It doesn't exist. I showed everybody why it doesn't exist already. If you want, we can do that in 1 second. You just pull the charts away and you put a couple lines. You can practice this yourself. Put a couple lines like this. Anywhere you want. Don't even look at the chart. Just put them anywhere you want. Where else you want support and resistance? You want the support and resistance here? Would you like one here? Would you like another one just next to this one? And you'll see they'll both be perfect. Let's go see. Let's go look at them. Let's see where the chart is. We'll have to go where the chart is, right? You love that, right? You love that one, right? It worked. It's perfect. Look at this. Right? You see where they stop and they go back up? Let's keep going. And you keep moving in the chart. I put it on a 1 hour so we get more charts. Right? And you will see how perfect they work. They're useless. Look at this one. See that? See this one here? See this one here? See that? Guys, let me just explain something to you. If something is coming down like this and you draw horizontal lines anywhere in here, the probability of it at any point hitting it or break through it in this case, hitting it or break through it in this case, hitting it or break through it in that case, is 90%. It's going to happen because it's going down. And you're putting horizontal line and it's not going down in a straight line, it's going down like this. So it's just nonsense. What would you do with that? Okay, here you are. Let's put it this way. Here you are. You know, they like to look at the chart and put it, but look at this one. Did I look at the chart to put it here? Let's say you had looked at the chart and you had put that's my resistance line. You see where they found resistance, they came down. They found support, they go back. What do you do when you hit this resistance? Do you sell? Well, if you sell, where would you put your stop? You put your stop just above it here, right? Goodbye. You can kiss it goodbye because you lost that trade. Right? When it comes back to it, what do? Do you sell? No. So now it broke the resistance. What do? You buy? You buy here and you put a stop under here. You can kiss that goodbye. It's gone. It doesn't work. It simply doesn't work. And you know how you know it doesn't work? If you're trading support and resistance, look at your account. And you will see that it's not working. You ask the people who are trading support and resistance to show you their account. If, of course, they're trading support and resistance or they're just posting that nonsense hindsight. Right? That's it. It doesn't work. It's useless. It's absolutely useless. But if you want to use it, hey, your choice. I'm just giving you my views. Because next thing you know, people are going to come trolling my charts again and put 100 charts to prove to me that support and resistance work. What else you guys want to hear? Let's see. Can you tell us more about the structure of the EuroCAD? Let's not go into details of that. Oh, the EuroCAD. I think you want to see the one that didn't work. Let's go look at it. EuroCAD. There's a very smart person here. He thought he got me. The EuroCAD. Why didn't it work? Well, let's go look at the EuroCAD structure. Daily. As long as it's above here, I'm looking for a buy. Right? So it's going down, going down, going down, going down, going down. This one, every time it makes an attempt to break, it goes down. It comes here. If it doesn't break this structure and it comes and break this top, I am buying. So how many trades did we take in this? We took the downside. We took the downside. We took one upside. I think we took one trade up that didn't go. Put it in a 1 hour. Good. We took one up trade. I think was this up trade. This one didn't go well. Right? Let's see which one. The first chart was posted was this down trade and this down trade to complete the 5-way, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we took this up trade. We took this up trade, right? You made profit in that, that's pretty sure, but it didn't break out. Then it started to do this and we ignored the chart. And then we got a breakout here. If you took this, you had enough time to take break even out of that trade. I didn't take it, but if you took it, you had enough for break even. And now it's coming down. A change of the structure. It is still a valid structure. So if your question is a serious question, you have a serious answer. This is likely to happen. And if it happens, we will trade it. Unless they break this low. That is the only thing that changes structure. If you think you're trying to be smart, you're not. Right? Just learn structure. You will learn a thing or two. What is the next question? Let's go. When you say you need much more money for trading, you mentioned once before. How much money are you talking about? No, I never said that. I think you guys are misquoting or something. I didn't say you need much money. You need as much money as you can get to trade, because then the better you're capitalized, the better it is. You cannot beat the market with $1,000. Forget about it. It's not going to happen, right? If you manage to take $1,000 to trade and you double it and you double it and you double it 5 times, you are the best trader in the world and you're the luckiest person in the world. It's not going to happen, right? Forget about it. That's not trading. Hi, how about long Pung USD 8 at the moment? No, it's a little too early for the long and the Pung. Do you think the Brent will come down in the next 1 hour? That's not something we're going to look at here. Why do you only conk corrective pattern and no 5-wave impulse? Well, because I haven't seen a 5-wave impulse as yet, right? But you don't know what I'm counting, by the way. So how do you know that I'm not counting 5-wave impulse? That's the next thing, right? Roy Cleaver, can you show the Euro Aus, please? Euro Aus, sure, why not? Let's go look at the Euro Aus. We're still in this structure, and unless they break the bottom of here, unless they break that, the structure is still valid. So to invalidate the structure, they need to break the low, and we're looking at this here now. So we've got to break out of this structure. If you look at the bigger structure, this one coming down, they haven't broken this structure as yet. They made a move down, correction, made a move down, correction, made a move down. They may be making a correction here. So I'm still anticipating a move to the upside, but it may be corrective. So let's see. We broke out of this, and then they start to consolidate, and they made very huge consolidation without breaking the low. That means this move goes up here. You may get a very small trade. Take the trade and the break of this, put it to break even when it comes here, and leave it. If it reverses back, you get a break-even trade. It's going to go down. We will look for a sell setup. If it goes through this top, bingo, you're in a very, very big trade to the upside. So let's relook at the structure. What is the structure? The structure at this point was telling us it is making a wedge-looking pattern. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. We thought this is going to give us 2, and it is going for 3. Well, this one came down much lower, which means that it might not be a wedge or a triangular pattern as we think, but it could be a move to the upside as an A, B, C correction, or it could be the start of a downside move, with this being your first impulse, this being your A, B, C correction, and this one goes down. Now, only when they break this low will I be looking for sell setups. Once it stays above that, I'm still looking for a buy setup, right? I'm still looking for a buy setup, and we may get that buy setup next week. We will get this trade, and if this trade take off, I will be in that trade. And I'm pretty sure if that trade happens and it take off, you will not come into my webinar and say, can you show me that structure, please? Right? You will not do that because that's not your aim, right? But like I said, if you're trying to be smart, you're not there. You gotta come better. Let's go. What else are you looking for? Did I miss some? I think I missed some. Okay. When you say you need much money with a pong long that, do you think Brent will come down? No, I don't know. We don't just make a guess whether we think. We look at structures. Why do you only can we did that? New Zealand. Anything gold and silver? We'll take a look at gold and silver. I get a lot of requests for gold and silver. Good morning, Richard. The wave theory seems to be different to how companies like market traders. I don't have an idea what other people are doing. Honestly, I have my. I am following, the wave structure that I see and the way I see it. And believe me, it's working good for me. It is working good for me, right? So why would I want to worry what somebody else is doing? Take 100 of his charts and take 100 of mine and put them together, and you make your decision which one you want to follow. Again, somebody want to see gold? Let's see somewhere else. Let's see what else. Why are there no labeling? So this person, I'll throw you out of the room if you repeat that question again. Sahim Mohammed, if you repeat your question again, I'll throw you out of the room. Don't come to the webinar again, right? And you repeat it like about 10 times. You're a fool. Sorry to say that. Just leave. Here's the thing. You go get a life. If you don't like what I'm doing, leave. It's that simple. If you don't understand what I'm doing, educate yourself. Right? You can do that. If you don't understand, you can educate yourself. If you don't like it, just leave. That's simple. Okay, Paul Mendes is asking for you. We'll do Euro Chief in the room again, Paul. When you're running the next course, that's in September. You guys, if you want to know anything about the course, we will not discuss it here. Just add me to Skype. One of the guys will post my Skype ID out for everybody, so you can just add me to Skype and I'll give all the info there. I don't want to spend an hour talking about it here. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Let's go. More questions. Pong Chief looks very different. Oh, that one, we looked at that. So I don't see any more questions here. I see a lot of thank you after that. Okay, any more questions? I ran through all the questions that I saw. Oh, I saw a question in the chat. Do you always take trades after consolidation, not from confluence of let some candlestick reversal plus level plus pivot points? No, I don't do that. It's not that complex. We have our strategy of how we trade it. We don't just take the candle that comes out. And the strategy is different, depends on the time frame and the structure we're looking at. It's mostly based on the structure, what type of structure we're looking at. That is how we follow the strategy. Yeah, I don't have time to waste with people who are asking nonsense. I may sound a little bit aggressive sometime, but if you know me, those who know me know the kind of person I am. I just don't have the time to waste over people who are, Here is the thing, guys. Value your time. Let me give you a little clue to be successful in life. Not only in trading, whatever you do. Value your time. Your time is very valuable, but if you're going to waste it to troll people, to ask nonsense, to try to be provocative in other people's places, you are wasting your time. Remember, my time has value, and that is why I'm valuing it. I'm giving value to you guys. I'm trying to add value to my time. And that is why my time costs money, right? If you take my training course, you pay me for it because my time costs money and it has value. People who are trailing and people who are trolling and people who are doing nonsense, those people don't value their time. They're useless. If you spend your entire life doing that, what would you become at the end of your life? A troll. If I spend my entire life trying to help people in webinars, show them what I know, show them what I learn, maybe, just maybe I'm not exactly correct. Maybe I don't have the best thing in the world, but I'm showing you what I think. And you can see from my charts whether it's working or not. But I'm trying to add value to my time. So all of you should follow that principle. Add value to your time. Don't become a troll. If you don't like what somebody else is doing, don't go there. Just move away from that area. Go find an area and a space where you like what everybody is doing. If you come in our room, you will see how amazing the room is. Because everybody in that room likes what we're doing. They understand it. They learn the concept. They make use of it, and they're making themselves a better trader using that concept. You don't find my traders in trading you trolling anybody. You don't even find them much in my charts. They just like the charts and they may make a comment or so. That's all. They're most time in our room practicing, getting better for themselves. They have value of their time. That's what I teach them. Value your time. If you come into here to learn something, you're adding value to your time. If you come into here to troll, good luck to you. Right? It's that simple. Okay, let's go. Let's not waste time with those guys. But you have to say it sometimes so others will follow. Can you go over oil and gold quickly? Also, if you have some time, I'd like to know why pennant structure triggers the down impulse on last week's oil. Last week oil, it wasn't the pennant structure. So let me go back. Let's do oil first, and then we'll do gold and silver, and we'll call it a day. Right? So oil, if you were in my room, you would see this structure. So you're not in my room. When you were in the room, let me show you. When you were in the room, what you saw was a possibility of this happening. We looked at this structure and we said to you, there is a possibility that this will make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it should go up. If you were in the last 2 webinars that I did, if you were on that last 2 webinars in the free webinars I did, we changed it to possibility of this. We looked at the structure and we said, no, that is not what it's doing. I can't tell you why, but I can tell you we did it in our trading room and we said, this looks like an A. We are probably looking for a 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe a 5 here, and then we're looking for one more down here, right? So let me show you step by step what we did that you probably didn't see. So my traders took this trade down, they took that one down, they took this up, and when they took this one up as well. And they got break even out of that one because it didn't go very far, right? They moved their stop, they got break even. But before they got break even, we already realized, based on the structure that we're looking, that that is not what it's doing. We are not going to have a wedge there. We already realized, based on the structure and what we are looking at daily, is that we are probably making a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure, and this is going to go up for a 1. It is going to make a 2, and it will make a 3, and maybe it will go down some more. That's a maybe now because we don't have enough structure to tell us that. The chances are all of this is one wave, and we're going to go up like this for a bigger structure here, and then we're going to come down for one more here, right? So remember, in my trading room, we follow this twice daily. That means we give you step by step how the structure is developing and how it's changing, right? Now, you don't have access to my room, so that is why you were worried and you thought it's still a pennant. And we said we don't know if it's a pennant. We were looking at the information we had, and we were making an assumption as to what we're looking at and what it could be. And as the information comes in, as we get more and more information, we make more accurate assumptions as to what is going to be. So we're looking at this as an A, a B, and a C to complete one wave. I don't think oil is going to start an uptrend right now. What I think oil is going to do is probably 1, 2, something like this. Maybe something like this. Right? It's going to make another corrective structure in here, and then there will probably be one more down before they go up. So what I think oil is going to do is going to go sideways within a range, very likely within a range like this. We may be going sideways. Now, that I show you is based on the information that we have now. If Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we look at the structure and we see that structurally it's changing, right? Because remember, we are making forecasts based on what we have, right? Just think of yourself working at some station where you're looking at seismographs and you're seeing some really crazy moves, and you have to make a decision whether there's going to be an earthquake or not. You start studying the charts and you come up with it. There is probably an earthquake coming, but you don't have enough information to know the exact spot or the exact strength of it. But as the informations are coming in, that could either die out and you said, okay, that's it, it's gone. There's not a big one coming, or it's getting worse. That means we're going to expect a big one coming, and you will be very close at locating the area where it's going to happen. And as you get more information, you will be able to tell the strength that it's coming with. That's called knowledge. I don't have a crystal ball. It's based on knowledge. Now, what you were thinking, or you're thinking, we have a crystal ball. So if we said, hey, this thing is going to go up, it has to go up. It has to go up in one big straight line for you. Right? Well, it doesn't work like that. We're studying charts. We're looking at the patterns. We're looking at the patterns that are completed. We're trying to make an assumption of what the next pattern would look like. And very often when you have a complete pattern, you can tell with very high accuracy what the next move is going to be. But when you have an incomplete pattern, you're making assumptions of what this pattern could be. And you may be wrong there, but it doesn't matter to us because we're not trading the entire pattern. Is that we're trading the parts of the pattern, and the parts are very likely happening. As it develops and it gives us more information, we make a bigger general pattern. And then we said, okay, now we have enough information to tell you what this pattern is going to do. And if it's a complete pattern, we have a 90% chance it is going to do what we think it is going to do. That is how patterns work. It is all based on knowledge, not a crystal ball, not ignorance, not some news event somewhere, not pulling things out of a dark spot where nobody should be pulling things out of, right? We're actually studying the charts. So if you think we are wrong and we're doing nonsense, Good. Congratulations to you. Go listen to the news and do what you're doing that works for you very well. Right? We're not saying that we are 100% right every time we see a pattern. Sometimes we see the pattern incorrectly. And we study those patterns. There are times when we thought this was going to be a perfect pattern and the structure changed. And then we take snapshots of it and we study it and we figure out where did we make the wrong assumptions. And when we do our courses, one of the things that my traders will tell you is I show them some patterns where we got it wrong. And I will explain to them why we got it wrong, what we missed in it. And then I say, when you see this again, don't make that same mistake. And there are one in the Cadian, they will tell you. There's one in the Pongos where we got that absolutely wrong. We thought it was an ending diagonal. It turns out to be a leading diagonal in a much bigger structure, right? So we learn from our mistakes, and we do that in our course. That's what we do. I did the Euro Chief already, Paul. We looked at the Euro Chief already. I don't recommend brokers. Steve is asking which broker I recommend. I don't do that. I don't recommend broker. I have no knowledge of brokers. And I wouldn't like to recommend somebody out of ignorance. I don't know anything about brokers. What I know about is charts, not brokers. Aussie View, please, you have to watch the webinar. We did Aussie already. Watch the recording on YouTube, you'll get Aussie. Any more questions? I like that question that you asked, by the way, in terms of why it didn't work. So, you know, if you were seriously about it, then you got a serious answer. But if you were trying to, you know, because that's what we do, guys. That's what we do. We study charts. Basically, I keep saying the same thing. We study charts.
Anil?
Yes.
You said you were going to look at silver and gold?
Let's do that and we'll close the webinar, right? Thank you, Victor. Yeah. Silver. This is what we think it is doing. So let me show you this step by step, so you guys would figure out what we're doing. Come on, the monthly chart. I'm waiting at it. Charts are slow. Give me a second. Let me update that. Oil. Let's go to silver. Charts for some reason got very slow now. That New Zealand is going very well, by the way. I hope some of you got in because it's going nice. That New Zealand trade is going to be amazing. Good. So we're in the oil. Let me go back to the silver. The silver chart is not coming up, man. What happened? Is it just, oh, okay. I thought it was only my side. The charts are slow. Let's go to the month. Good. Let's follow. Let me just show you guys something. We knew this was going to go up, right? It's a pity again. They took out the charts. I just can't, one click, I can't show you those charts. I don't know why they took it out. I have no idea, but it was amazing when those things were there. With one click, I could show you the charts that we post and why we think it's gonna go. Weekly, it's not coming up now. Charts are slow, man. I click on the week. Victor, you're having a difficulty with the charts on your side? Can you click?
I'm not looking at them right now.
Oh, okay. Because I have to refresh it again. Sorry.
My chart, it's Benny. My charts are fine. They're fast. Maybe it's you.
Okay, it could be my side. Let me see. Okay, I'm refreshing the browser again. Let's see. It's slow. Guys, it's better to add me to Skype. Can you guys give them my Skype? Better to add me to Skype if you want to know anything about the course. Yes, you need at least a year experience in anything on trading. It doesn't have to be trading currencies or so before you can take the course. That's a question from somebody asking if you need anything. Okay, Alan, you're welcome. Come on, this thing is not refreshing. What is the problem? I was going to make a joke. Maybe they blocked me from the charts again, but it wouldn't have been a nice joke, right? that's good. I don't think everybody will get it, so that's good. Again, the silver chart is not opening, guys. Oh, it is there. Good. I wanted to show it in monthly, but I will not go there because every time I try to do that, it disappears. So you remember I had this as the buy zone, right? Everybody remember that. So the reason we know that was the buy zone because of structure. It was common sense as well. Then you made 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're in the 5th one. Going up. Now, we don't know if it's over. We can make an assumption that it's over, but we don't know if it's over because we don't have enough information to tell us that that is over. But if you go in the 4-hour, you can see clearly what it's doing right now, right? They made a small correction here. They made another impulse and they're correcting here. So I'm expecting a small move up to about this level. And then one more big move here. I think they will go into very deep correction if the 5th wave is over. If the 5th wave is not over, we will see one more impulse and then they will go into deeper correction. So right now there's a buy setup here. I'm not making a trade call. I'm just telling you there's a buy setup for me here. That it's a small trade. They will probably just come to double top there and then go down back, right? Because I'm anticipating a bigger corrective structure if the 5th wave is over. I'm looking at this pattern as an expanding leading diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means we're going to make 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to go up. Now, when I said we will make 1, 2, 3, and we're going to go up, I don't have an idea what that corrective structure would look like. Remember, I don't have a crystal ball. I have no idea what it will look like. Right? I'll give you guys my Skype ID because Victor, one of you guys could put somebody's asking for the Skype ID. That would help. I don't know. Maybe they missed it the last time you posted. Thank you.
I have posted a few times in the chat already.
I don't know why they keep asking. They probably missed it. I'll post it. I'll put it out on the screen just now for you guys. Yeah. So let me go back to this. I don't, and there are a number. When I mean, if you understand anything about structure, you will know there is a number of structures that it could make. So what we do is we follow the pieces of the structure as it's developing. It's like a Lego game. You follow all the little pieces and then you make a decision what that structure is. And is it completed? Right? That's what we do. But we have an idea based on the bigger structure that we are going to have a deeper correction. Now, to do this good, you need to know the rules that we are using. You need to know how to read structure. So it will not be that easy for you to do, unless you're trained to do that, right? You need to know this. And if you know this, then you will be able to grab this next move to the upside. And it is a huge move coming, right? So silver short term, it's doing nothing. It's going little up, little down. So that if you take this little trade, it just might do this and then come back down, right? I don't see it going up big time to the upside. Actually, it's going very long to sideways. So they're in corrective structure, right? Gold is very similar. Gold, remember we said, gold is going to come. Let's put it in the daily. I posted this chart a while back. I don't know why everybody's freaking about it. Gold has a slightly different structure. If you notice that the silver had 5 waves up. Gold has 1, 2, 3 waves up. And I'm not sure that the 3rd wave is over. So I see the 3rd wave coming here and probably making one more up. And then it could go into a very deep sideways move before it goes back up. Right? It could also go down. Like silver is not showing us structurally that it could go down big. Silver is showing a big sideways move. Gold could actually do this and go right back down to retest the low or even drop below the low, while silver will be in consolidation. So based on the structure we're looking at gold right now, we can see that possibility. Unless by the time this structure develops, it tells us a different story. So in the short-term trade you're looking at, it's a short-term corrective pattern coming down here. You can all see it. It's coming down here, and then you'll probably get one more up. You can actually get this trade to the upside if you trade gold, because that's a correction. You see this correction here? That was a correction, right? You see this correction here? That was a correction, right? So we are making a corrective structure to go up. So there's likely that next week, the week after, you will get a trade to the upside in gold. A very nice, strong impulse to the upside. Not those little trades coming down, you know, in the corrective structure. They're dangerous to trade. And if you don't know that the downside is dangerous, you're going to put small trades on with small stops and you will be taken out very likely. Right? We've seen that happen before, where people are trying to catch these little trades coming down here. You know, sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you don't. You put an entry here, you put a stop here. They do this, come take out your stop and then come back. Corrective structures does that very often, especially if you don't know how to read it so good, especially if you're not very good at reading it. Right now, I think this one is going to go down. I could see this coming down here and then going back up, maybe a little deeper and then come back and then go. Right? So we'll see how it develops. So I think with that, I probably exceeded my 1 hour by 16 minutes. I really don't like to do that. I know you guys have a lot of questions, so we will come back to them. We still have 171 out of, I think we had 195 people in the room, which means a lot of people did not get the message to come, because we know we normally get above 200 people, right? So the next time I do a webinar will be probably next Friday. I hope I'll try my best for next Friday, because I'll be on holiday for a month after that. So if you're interested in my course, which a lot of questions people are asking, this is what you need to do. Just add me to Skype. My Skype ID is, let me make this bigger so you can see it. Sorry. Oh, not so big, like this, right? MANGAL 457. Is that clear? Can everybody see it? MANGAL 457. Write it down now. It wouldn't take you long, so you can add me to Skype later, and I will give you all the info about the course. You have any question about the course, you can ask there. I'll spend enough time there with you. I don't want to waste it in the webinar. Let's talk about charts in the webinar. So the September course, just for info, is already about 50% filled. So from now to September, if you want to join, you better do that early. The earlier you join, the better it is, because we give you the recordings of the class to start study. You get access to our webinars and you get access to the trading room. So you're already getting information before you start your course, which is good for you because you learn, right? Right. So thank you and for coming. Have a wonderful weekend and see all of you on Monday. And add value to your time. Don't troll anybody, not only me. Don't troll anybody. Be nice. Right? Have a wonderful weekend, guys. See all of you. Take care. Bye-bye. Let me stop the recording now. I think I can stop here, stop sharing. And how do you stop the recording? Let's go get it. Victor, you there? Hey, Vic. More and stop.